Hello, and welcome to Recapping with Delora
and Ashley.
Please follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at Recapping Podcast.
Also, rate, review, and subscribe to our show on your favorite podcast platform. We're on all the things.
We want to hear your thoughts on the movies and shows we review.
Leave us a comment on Apple Podcasts or our YouTube channel, and we will read them during the show.
Or reach out to us on social media. We love talking all things entertainment and pop culture with you.
Thank you guys so much for listening.
Thank you.
What's up, Delora? We are back. I feel like we are the opposite of Barbie this time because we're both wearing black.
At least last time I had my pink glasses on.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Dolce & Gabbana. But
Personal
yeah,
friends
very
of the
black.
pod.
Personal friends.
Maybe one could say we're in mourning for these snubs that we're going to get into for the Oscar nominations.
Girl, it was a mixed bag, but we'll get there.
We'll get there. Guys, welcome. Any first-time listeners, thank you so much for tuning in.
Welcome.
We are going to get into some pop culture-ish today. We're going to get into some headlines and some hot topics. First headline up, we're going to talk a little bit about Sophia Vergara. Sophia and Joe Manganiello, as we know, had been together for a good 7 years married, longer relationship, maybe was it 10 years total? Maybe they were together. And
yeah, I don't remember. It wasn't that long before though.
It wasn't that long.
Because she had the other fiance who gave her all types of grief in court with
they were fighting over some embryos. So
yeah.
And it's interesting now that she's speaking out post-divorce from Joe and basically confirming what I know a lot of people have speculated, which is that they broke up because of babies. She didn't want any more. He wanted some kids. She already has a son who is in his 30s that she had when she was 19. So she said, I'm going to need him to give me some grandbabies. I'm ready to be a grandmother.
Why start over at that rate, She
said, ain't nothing else cooking in my uterus. Okay, we're done over here. Now, the big question I've seen in the comments, though, Delora, is, did y'all not talk about this before y'all got married? What is your thought process about not only what may have happened, but why is she speaking about it now?
Those are great questions. So they literally had a May-December romance in terms of their age difference, especially with him being a man. I feel like men do not have the same amount of pressure when it comes to making decisions on procreating, and having legit timelines surrounding it, right? It's usually
These
the
are
women.
the facts.
It's around our entire culture constantly talking about the clicking clock, right?
I think this is why for me turning 35 was significant, because as a woman, that age is what are we doing? That's the age where people say now you're officially geriatric in terms of having children.
Yeah. And so I feel like that's a male privilege that they have. He was like,
big facts.
I'm sure in the beginning of the relationship, it was hot and heavy. She's gorgeous. He's hot. He was my favorite from True Blood. Shout out to True Blood. And he was happy that he bagged Sophia Vergara. I don't think he took the time to marinate on if they were going to have children, how that was going to happen.
Joe is 47. She's 51. Journeys. Yeah, I mean, one could say that at the start of their relationship, she would have been in her early to mid 40s, right? So maybe there was still some thought, even from her, to be like, well, maybe.
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
Let's see what happens in the future. And let's not act like we're not all human and we don't all do that. And some of us fall in love fully knowing we're not compatible with people and that things are not going to work out, right? And yet you still go down.
Their opinions change.
Yep, you still go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah. And why is she talking about it now? She's promoting a show on Netflix. So I think, Sophia has never been one to really talk to the media about her personal life with any, if anything, even during her Modern Family days, all I knew is that her son's name was Manolo. Like that was the extent. I didn't even know how old she was when she had him, until recently, really. And so she's the lead of this new Netflix Colombian drug lord drama. And she's setting the record straight so she can move on and talk about something more productive.
Strategic. I think it's strategic because obviously you give people what they want and you throw in what I want in the mix, right? And also, she did this with a Spanish newspaper. Okay. She was with her comfort zone probably of interviews and interviewing.
Yeah.
And was like, okay, if I'm gonna tell anybody, if I'm gonna give anybody the scoop, it's gonna be you. Let's go ahead and just talk this through, and then I'm never gonna speak about this again.
She was sick at us talking about she dropped him when she found out he was Black.
This is to set the record straight. Now, she did kind of shade older mothers when she said that it's not fair to the baby. Like Janet Jackson probably gave her a side eye on that one. Who else? Gina Davis. There's been multiple celebrity women who have had children 45 plus.
Even Mariah had her baby older. Her babies.
Them babies.
Them twins. I don't know. She was easily in her 40s when she had
J-Lo as well.
J-Lo. Very true. Twins again. Yep.
So yeah, I agree. I think this is a strategic move, but it is interesting to hear her confirm it because to your point, I mean, to be honest, she's always been fairly candid, but usually it's humorous. Like her interviews usually tend to be more humorous than like, giving us tea. But in this case, she said it and now it's done and people hopefully will move on. And obviously they're both moving on in their personal life. She was even talking about recently in the headline that she's about to stay in New York for a while because she feels like they have a better pool of men. So.
Yeah. I will never forget the first time I saw Sophia Vergara. She was in a Tyler Perry movie.
Is that the first time you saw her?
Yes.
Huh. Now I got to think about, I feel like the first time I saw her was Modern Family, but
this was before Modern Family like dropped.
I could be mistaken. I just can't believe she's a blonde. Like that was the biggest bombshell for me when I first started hearing about her. I was like, what you mean you're a blonde?
Oh, have you seen those young pictures of her? She's unbelievable. Like she's so gorgeous. And not just because she was blonde, but I'm just saying like, I understand what you mean. Like, what do you mean? And then you see old pictures of her. I'm like, okay, beautiful lady.
Let's move on to our next headline. I literally put in the notes for us, Sarunas Jackson tried it, restraining order, because I'm so tired of hearing about these brothers. I knew I never liked him even as Dro and Insecure, and now he's really on my bad side. Because what does this have to do with you, sir? So we know we've talked about the drama with Keke and her ex baby daddy, Darius. And so his brother, previous Insecure actor Sarunas Jackson, has now filed a restraining order against Keke and her mother. A judge has already made a ruling and denied the request, but he basically accused Keke and her mother of harassment and stalking. I am so annoyed that Keke Palmer has been so unproblematic throughout her career and trajectory from a child star to all of the things. Host, mogul, actress, singer. I mean, all the hyphenates.
Emmy winner. Okay, like they are really trying to.
Why do I keep having to hear about these boys, these men? Why is this keep coming up on my Instagram feed and timeline? What were your thoughts when you saw this nonsense?
I literally kept scrolling, Ashley, because to your point, him and his family they're trying to build a case against her, and it just is looking petty. It's looking toxic AF. And it's just silly and embarrassing at this point. Like, I feel like these type of antics can absolutely impact your ability to be employed in the future.
Mm-hmm. Especially because who are you employed by? A prominent Black woman.
Is he even working? Like, I'm not even trying to be shady at this rate, but like,
I don't remember the last thing I've seen that man in, to be honest with you. I'm sure he's gotten other jobs and opportunities, but the last thing I remember hearing about him was now he was having issues with the mother of his child, who
right.
was also on Insecure. So
Yes.
I don't know what, again, I understand having your family's back and doing all of that, but why would you take such a public stance in defense of your brother who is not looking good based on the evidence that we've seen? There is video footage of your brother tossing her like off a couch or behind whatever the circumstances were.
Right.
There was violence against her by him that we as the public have seen. So why would you go 10 toes down in this way and add to the noise and add to the drama that you could easily stay out of, even if you decided to, you know, do what you needed to do privately in support of your family? I don't understand the logic.
You know, I have no idea either. None.
I feel like something, and this is I'm reading a Shade Room article, by the way. I feel like one of the biggest reasons that he tried this is in their findings, he tried to have the judge prohibit her from speaking about him or his family. So I feel like that's a part of this too, is that she, even though she hasn't, it's not like she's done press, she hasn't said anything publicly outside of what we've seen in the courts. It's more so about him probably trying to protect his reputation, possibly from other people because in the industry.
She knows some of the stuff that he's done.
Exactly. That it's already probably been impacting his career now, but you're not making it any better with this.
Not at all. Man, they said he's 6'8". Damn.
He's huge.
How's the hair up there? Wow. I'm sorry.
Clearly it's thin because he's not making good.
I am done. I am so done.
I hope that we're done with this. I mean, that's really the moral of the story. That's why I wanted to talk about this. I just want to put it out there. I hope you're done, sir. I hope you and your brother stop this nonsense. You are not going to get the public on your side. There's no way.
No way. No way.
You got everybody in the comments saying we ride at dawn. Like, no one is coming to your side.
Basically.
Let this go. Realize you've lost. Let this play out in family courts. Let the decisions be made about custody and all these things and go on about your business. You may have bigger fish to fry with your own situation. So have a seat. All right, Delora, let's move on to some fashion, darling. So Paris Fashion Week, or is it actually Haute Couture Fashion Week?
Yeah, because I think Paris Fashion Week officially starts in February. So I don't know.
I've seen both headlines. I've seen people call it Paris. I've seen people call it Haute Couture. So regardless of what it is, we got women and celebs out in these streets looking fabulous. Everybody from probably my favorite I've seen in a couple looks, Jennifer Lopez, to Riri, to Zendaya, stepping out in looks. Do you have a favorite that you've seen? Do you have a certain like house that you pay more attention to in terms of their designs for the season? Like, you get way more into the fashion weeks and shows than me. So what has moved you about this particular set of events?
I mean, Zendaya at this Schiaparelli Haute Couture show, like when I saw her, my mouth was on the floor. I was like, first of all, thank you. And finally, where have you been? Where have you been? She didn't go to the Emmy. She didn't go to any award show. So it's like, she's just been holding up and she blessed us with this look that's iconic. I mean, and even with Laura Roach with that hat and that furry jacket, whatever is going on there, I loved it. It's just everything. I also thought Jennifer Lopez looked amazing, as well as Hunter. They all sat next to each other at the show.
What J-Lo was wearing, I want. Like, I want the glasses.
I like the glasses a lot.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I was not in love with Riri's look. I know she was in Dior. I don't know if it was the hat or the puffer coat or whatever. I just was not in love. Now, don't get me wrong. There are a couple of pictures that were fire. And I'm like, well, that's Riri. I mean, she's going to deliver. She can wear a plastic bag and give face.
Yeah. She didn't have my favorite look, but to your point, it's the iconicness of her presence that makes everything she does in every moment she steps out the moment. And plus, her gushing over Natalie Portman, that was special.
She also did it for Glenn Close, which I loved so much as well.
Glenn Close needs an Oscar. I'm tired of this.
How about that? How about that? For the men, again, men's fashion has been my favorite this season and last. I just feel like this season has been just top notch. Lewis Hamilton looking good in Dior. He always looks good, obviously.
Yeah, he does.
And I don't
care nothing about no racing, but let him step out that car, take that helmet out.
Ways. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But I really love this look on him. The baggy, the browns, loved. And then, I mean, Kylie made a splash last year, but she looked like a mess this year.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to immediately start busting out laughing. But the backlash against this one look of hers, and people keep saying she looks so old.
I'm does.
Like, I would hate to be a public figure. Do you hear me?
Have you noticed the discord about how Gen Z are aging faster than millennials? Yes.
The one guy who posted about meeting The Rock.
Girl, first of all, I thought he was cackled. Like our age as well. Yes. And he was like, I'm a Gen Zer.
He said, I am younger than Zendaya. Okay.
I had no idea he was that young though. Real talk.
I was cackling. He cracked me up.
So funny.
I blame COVID. I'm gonna be honest. I blame COVID because even I say I'm 3 years younger than it says on my driver's license because COVID took years from my life.
I literally was at the doctor's office last year and I saw a number on my paperwork and I was like, what's that? And I was like, oh, that's my age. What? I was like, that's me? Who?
Roll that back 3 years, Delora. Roll that back 3 years.
30 something, okay? A lot of people are blaming it on exposure to social media and technology at a young age, and also the eating and the foods and all, like you mentioned, all the stresses, the macros of the last several years. And Kylie Jenner's the poster child because she does not look her age. I am sorry. Sorry.
It's something in particular about this look though. Like she has not been looking like this. So what has happened that made you look so haggard in the face, right? And then the outfit didn't help. Because
no, it didn't.
Yeah, the outfit, the hair, none of that helped. And then you're with a boyfriend who looks like a tween.
Thank you. You are with Peter Pan and she out here with 2 children. I mean, I don't know. She's 26 years old, Ashley. 26 years old.
Her mother needs to sit down and talk to her because I don't know what is happening to Kylie. Kendall does not look like that. So we need to have a chat.
That's a great point. That's a great point. I'm sure she has had some enhancements, but I don't think it's on the same level.
No, and plus Kendall has talked about how she's on this whole extreme health kick, right? Where she's doing a whole bunch of different stuff to try to figure out how best to live healthy and all this stuff. So I don't think she messes with
botulism isn't in that.
I think she's more on the wave of Courtney than.
But you cannot tell me they have not had Botox.
I don't know. Courtney at one point, Courtney had breast implants. So I know Courtney at one point was on a different wave than I think she's on now. Kendall, I think maybe try to be health conscious, but you still have access to doctors and all sorts of things.
True.
But Kylie, man, yeah, that was either bad lighting, bad makeup, you ain't get no sleep, or girl, life is catching up hard. Cause her and Larsa Pippen could go hang out together. And Larsa is in her 40s.
Hanging out with Kim and them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's rough. Yeah, that's rough. We're going to let that be. We're going to let that be. Everybody look fabulous, though. That's what I will say. This was some fabulous fashion that I saw step out.
I have enjoyed it immensely.
All right, our last headline, Delora, you wanted to chat a little bit about this. Just came out, today that we're recording. Jon Stewart is returning to The Daily Show. He is returning as an executive producer as well as a weekly recurring host on Mondays. Now, we know he had a 16-year run as the host of the Comedy Central program before Trevor Noah took over. And obviously, he's coming back at a very pivotal time with the 2024 presidential election heating up. So are you excited about this? What were your thoughts? Do you think this is going to reinvigorate The Daily Show in some type of way to get people excited to hear what he has to say every week? What you thinking?
I just think this is really, really interesting considering how long they have been searching for a full-time host. And most notable, how Roy Wood Jr. was like right there and they were like auditioning everybody and they refused to give him a chance. And that really broke my heart. But you have people, I mean, everyone from freaking Charlemagne the God to Leslie Jones filling in to see who could truly fill such gigantic shoes. And I think this is out of desperation from the network in this show, bringing him in. He had the time because this is 2024 and we need to get all of our pieces together in terms of our media and, you know, people who are communicating these very real issues in this vital election. So I think it's smart to a degree because, again, we need smart people having the microphone during times like this. We said this with the birth of Native Land podcast with some of our favorite political commentators like Tiffany Cross and Angela Rye. So yeah, it should be interesting. It should be interesting. I don't know what they're going to do when he gets sick of it, because I think he's been gone away long enough to be like, oh, the good old days. But I'm sure they're also cutting him an enormous check. So
I think he also said
opportunity.
He probably also said, I'm only coming back if I can have some control, some real control.
True.
Over what is going on with this program.
And he is executive producer, so absolutely.
We'll see who this rotating lineup of comedians is that they're mentioning, who's going to helm the program the rest of the week. Yeah. Because to your point, he may be like, well, that was fun for a little bit, but hey, I'm going to step back behind the scenes. I'm going to have some other people come in and do their thing. Like, it seems like to me, you would bring him in fourth quarter, right? You're going to bring him in the last few months.
That's true.
Yeah, to have that bang right before the general election. That's what I would think. But I mean, we'll have to wait and see. I'm not an avid Daily Show watcher. Obviously, Trevor Noah is what pulled me in to start watching more of that program.
I was a Jon Stewart. I was telling y'all before, political junkie. One of my favorite quotes is that, you know, politics is just like pop culture, just with ugly people. Like, because the drama is there. The relationships are there. You know what I mean? Except these are lawmakers, and it definitely applies to our everyday lives. But
oh, absolutely. And that's the thing too, is I don't want it to be like, you know, Hollywood and like all of that. I need y'all to be serious. This is very, very, very serious. Yeah,
but unfortunately, in a lot of cases, it's not.
I know.
My favorite political moment right now is the fact that people don't think that Tim Scott's fiance is real. Like,
when I heard this man was engaged, I shut my phone off.
She got paid to be his fiance because, you know, he out here trying to be a VP candidate, right? Which will never happen. That's a whole nother conversation. But it's some fascinating stuff. But I digress.
He is a character. And so, yeah, I don't want to talk about that. I'm just going to say this. We'll see what happens with Jon Stewart. I've been starting to get more and more thinking about politics. I think even to the extent where I rewatched The Ides of March. I don't ask me why. I was just like, you know what? It's been a while since I've watched this film.
Huh.
Let me remind me of what type of foolishness went on. Because remember, Ryan Gosling is a really idealistic, believed in the cause, and then all the shenanigans of real life happened. So, yeah, I guess I'm slowly but surely trying to get my mind focused for where we're about to be. And so I say all that to say, even my entertainment consumption is shifting. Anyway, that's it. Let's move on to hot topics. We only have one, and it is the Oscars. So, Oscar nominations came out this week. The ceremony is going to be on March 10th at 7 p.m. on ABC, hosted once again by Jimmy Kimmel. Surprises and snubs, Delora. That seemed to be the biggest thing that everybody wanted to talk about, right? The biggest snubs that I kept seeing were Greta Gerwig not getting Best Director nominated for Barbie, Margot Robbie not getting Best Actress nom for Barbie, Leo not getting Best Actor nom for Killers of the Flower Moon, Fantasia not getting Best Actress nominated for The Color Purple. Of the snubs and surprises, because we had some great surprises. We had Sterling K. Brown that's receiving his first nomination. Which, first of all, I did not know Daniel Brooks and Sterling K. Brown were cousins of Niecy Nash.
Girl, had no idea.
Where have I been?
Seriously, I had no idea either. But the picture of all three of them side by side, cheese, and I'm like, you see it in the smile, you see it in that nose mouth area there.
I just love the fact that they are cousins, not play cousins.
No, like,
and legit. They all doing their thing right now.
Individually, I love that, and thriving.
Yes. America Ferrera, she got her nom for Barbie. Ryan, he got his nom for Barbie.
I just find it to be so on the nose that Ken got a nomination, but not Barbie. What? Like, did you all? We were just having this conversation, Ashley, about how we felt like America's monologue, which I'm sure got her this nomination, was preaching to the choir, but apparently the people of the Academy doesn't understand the irony.
Yeah, they played right into the script. Like, everybody was saying, you know what? The Oscars is the Mojo Dojo Casa House.
Exactly.
How have we not learned by now? But remember, we talked about this last week or before last. And you asked me, did I think that Margot and Ryan were going to get nominated? And I said at the time, no, I didn't think they were, because I didn't think, I just consider the stuffiness of the way I consider the Academy. So being half right and Margot not getting nom and Ryan getting a nom, I was like, whoa.
Promise you, but you know, there are some discussions going on the internet that I thought was interesting. They were like, if you were so upset about Ken getting the Oscar and not Barbie as the writer director, why did Ken have the largest arc and the solo and the dance? So they're saying that Ken actually did do more things in the film to be considered. I don't know.
I completely disagree with that. I think Ken had a strong arc, yes, but Barbie gained humanity. There is no bigger fucking arc in the film than that.
Oh, I love that. Okay, I see you out here, Ashley.
Y'all are crazy. Rewatch the film, because we just did. Rewatch the film and get back to me. I just want to say, Cillian Murphy, this being his first Oscar nomination is mind-blowing to me. I didn't realize this was the first.
Shut the front door.
Yes.
That's that man with the piercing stare.
Right. I was like, Cillian Murphy is a fantastic character actor and has been throughout his career. I think the first time I really took note of him, remember he was Scarecrow in
Batman.
And in The Dark Knight. And I was like, hold on.
Oh, he terrified the shit out of me in that role.
In Red Eye. Remember Red Eye with him and Rachel McAdams? where he held her hostage on the plane.
Oh wow. No,
So
I remember the movie, but I didn't see it. So I
so
didn't.
good. So
Yeah.
good. And then the fashionista of the hour, Coleman Domingo.
Domingo. Shout out to our Afro Latino brother. Okay. I need for y'all to realize, like, I've noticed some of our Latin brothers and sisters missing him in their congratulations. Like, okay, yes, America, but Coleman Domingo belongs in that category as well.
You know, that's a whole nother
Girl,
conversation.
yeah, colorism is a bitch. But I purposely chose this particular recap because it was getting so much so much award season buzz. But our boo Charlie Milton did not get nominated for May December.
Snubs. That one was shocking to me too, because he's been such an awards darling. He's like an underdog.
Yes.
And Hollywood loves that story.
They do.
And it's been a great award season for Asian representation.
Yes, but they missed out quite a bit. Maybe he messed up when he called Riverdale his Juilliard. I don't know.
Nah, that wasn't it. But I will tell you what they're going to miss out on is seeing how good he was going to look on that red carpet.
Girl, he's almost like Zendaya for men.
I wanted to give flowers to a few other of the first-time nominees. We already talked about Danielle Brooks for her performance as Sophia in The Color Purple. Divine Joy Randolph, she did not get snubbed out of this Oscars contention, baby. Okay? She already went home.
She's going in as a front runner.
Yes, that's what I said. She's already won big.
You asked me if I felt like the Golden Globes are like
still an
indicator. My favorite indicators to Oscars are the SAGs and the BAFTAs. And Critics' Choice here or there, only on the main awards, because they like an underdog as well. But the BAFTAs and the SAGs are usually mine. And so when Fantasia got snubbed by the Oscars, I'm like, the BAFTAs recognized her talent and efforts. Best actress category.
Some people feel like the Brits are better trained, better in certain ways in terms of what they put into their craft. So one could say the BAFTAs hold a little more weight. But anyway, Emily Blunt, the fabulous Emily Blunt, first-time nominee.
Ma'am.
Jeffrey Wright, first time.
That warms my heart.
Now, if he wins, he is one step closer to EGOT.
He's a fantastic actor. Like, speaking of character actors, fantastic.
I wish I had really been able to stick with the one show on HBO that he was in, Westworld, where they were. Yeah, it got a little too crazy for me.
It got above me. Yeah, now you know what I mean. I tried, but he was fantastic. So hard. Yeah. And shout out to James Marsden also, because I was like, yes, sir. Oh. And I didn't say this during our Barbie recap, and I'm just going to go ahead and put it on the mic now. James Marsden walked for Ryan Gosling to run. Can we give James his props for being the prince in Enchanted and Disenchanted? The perfect, clueless prince, male lead.
But this is also The Notebook. This is the rivalry from the freaking Notebook.
I forgot. Oh my God. Yes, exactly.
She chose Noah, but guess what? She ain't had no bum. She ain't had no bum in James Marsden either. Okay?
Not at all. Not at all.
All right. We have Lily Gladstone again making history. First Native American actress to be nominated for an Oscar. Let that sit. It's amazing. Sandra Hüller, first-time nominee for Anatomy of a Fall. And as I already mentioned, Sterling K, first-time nominee.
I'm not gonna lie. I love Annette Benet, but where did she come from with this Best Actress nomination?
So I love Annette Benet too. I have not watched Nyad. It's on Netflix. I considered it, but I was like, between her and Carey Mulligan, one of y'all, for me, could have dropped off
easy
for Fantasia and for Margot.
Period.
That's my 2 cents.
Same. We are on the same page.
I think y'all need to give it up sometimes to the popular vote. You know, if this is election season, y'all are the electoral college, we are the popular vote. My vote should count more.
And you want people to show up for this award show in ratings.
Exactly. Sometimes you have to give it up for the popular vote.
But it wasn't like these two performances, speaking of Fantasia and Margot, is not like they didn't deserve, they did a fantastic job in their roles.
Absolutely. But you know what I mean, though, is sometimes they want to focus so much more on like the grit of something. And if it's popular and if it's too commercial, then that must mean that it wasn't a stellar enough in the mud, you know? Yep. And obviously that's not true. We know that these ladies have killed it in these performances. Absolutely. But I think that it does sometimes get overlooked as being just like how they say, oh, Leo didn't get an Oscar until he got ugly and damn near died in a role. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was too pretty. And a lot of people didn't think he was going to get an Oscar until he like slowed down with his 25-year-old age limit.
Let's not judge people based on their personal lives. If that's the case, y'all, the Oscars is wilding.
That was conversation back in the day. Like, oh, he's young, pretty actor. He needs to humble himself type of deal, you know?
That's not fair. I'm looking at Entertainment Weekly, a couple other snubs. Greta Lee for Best Actress, which I have not seen this film, Past Lives, but I love her in The Morning Show. So,
I haven't seen her in The Morning Show.
They also say that it's a surprise that Bradley Cooper and Josh Singer got nominated for Best Original Screenplay for Maestro. I'm not sure if who that's listening has seen Maestro, but that is surprising to me personally because I'm still trying to understand, like, granted, he did a lot of work. Leonard Bernstein is an icon, so I understand, but the treatment of this biopic was just a little confusing to me in terms of how it turned out in its creation. Like, I'm a little confused, especially the focus on this love story that felt not very loving in certain ways. I don't want to spoil the film, but yes, that does surprise me a little bit. I'll say that. But I know Bradley put in a lot of work and he's a darling and people love him. I love him, but I'm not sure about this one. So
I'm also surprised that Barbie didn't get any love for makeup and hairstyling because those wigs were fantastic.
Those wigs were everything. Like, I want a Barbie wig. Those are some Tyler Perry could never. Those are some of the best wigs that I have seen. They even, I don't know if you watched any of the extra stuff that they had available on Max.
No, I didn't.
But they showed one where they talked about all the wigs and how they got even down to the color of the blonde, right? About how specific they were about which shade of blonde they used for every single wig. And I mean, it was so much forethought into the mood and the vibe and the outfit and all those things that made it perfect for, and obviously the era too of, the very start, how she had the bang and how that was the retro look of Barbie. And it was a lot. They went into the weeds.
And that's what I loved about the costuming too. It's like they did their Barbie research. Okay. Like, they did get nominated for costume design, thankfully, but yeah, they were in their bag with pulling out all the stops for historical Barbie.
They sure did. Let me just list the number of nominations by film. So Oppenheimer, case surprise, surprise, leads the noms with 13. Poor Things has 11 nominations. Killers of the Flower Moon, 10. Barbie, 8. Maestro, 7. American Fiction, Anatomy of the Fall, The Holdovers, and The Zone of Interest all have 5. Napoleon has 3. The Creator has 2, which I haven't watched yet on Hulu. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 has some nominations, has 2.
Interesting.
Nyad has 2. Past Lives has 2. And Society of the Snow has 2. So I guess this year, Delora, we should probably, as we get closer, decide on our top picks for the big categories. So we'll bring that back to you guys as we get a little bit closer and we can shore up our choices And if you guys want to vote at home, we love that as well. Let us know your picks for who you think is going to take home those golden statues this year. So
Yes,
anything else?
yes.
Anything else you want to chat about in terms of the Oscar nominations?
Again, I think with all the scandals combined with actually growing up, the Oscars has lost a bit of its shine, but it still is king when it comes to Hollywood, right? And so I'm excited for all the first time nominees. I'm looking forward to seeing what the show is all about. Oh, I do have one more thing, Ashley.
Mm-hmm.
So both America and Ryan were grateful for the nomination, but also spoke up for the director, star, executive producers of the movie. Do you feel like it'll hinder their chances of winning?
Not at all. I mean, I think that it was right for them to graciously be thankful, because I'm sure they both very much are, but also recognize that this movie would not be possible, their nominations would not be possible without the leads and folks who actually created the work. And,
Exactly.
without Greta's vision and Margot's leadership and star power and all of that, we would have never had a Barbie film. So I definitely agreed with both of their sentiments. I also loved Eva Mendes speaking up for her boo and posting.
She's like, what you're not going to do is talk trash and not like the North remembers. She brought out receipts.
Yes. She said, remember when y'all was talking shit about my man?
Yeah. Yeah.
You remember when you was talking shit about my man?
He has so much pushback taking the role as Ken. And now he 3-time Oscar nominee.
Mm-hmm. Not from us, obviously, because we love Ryan Gosling. So
we do. He's becoming my favorite Ryan. Like,
he has been Ryan my favorite Reynolds for a long time.
Was number one for a very long time. And I'm like, Gosling.
Do you remember when didn't we play F, Marry, Kill with the Ryans? Ryan Gosling has always been for the Chris. But I think we did it for the Ryans one time too.
Can we do it again? Who's our third Ryan? We have Reynolds, Gosling.
Did we say Philippi? Were those the three?
Oh no, I hate Philippi.
You hate Philippi?
No, I don't hate him. I just hated how he treated Reese after she won her Oscar.
I was gonna say I just rewatched Cruel Intentions like last week too.
Well, I think we did it for the Chris's because we have more Chris to work with than Ryan's, I feel like.
Maybe that just happened in my mind. I played it in my mind. We probably definitely played it with the Chris's, that's for sure. But do you want to play it with the Ryans?
Oh, who are we gonna pick? I just Googled favorite Ryans. Here are the top 3. Reynolds, Philippe, and Seacrest.
Oh no, we're not gonna do that to Seacrest. He's not
do this.
We're not gonna play that with Seacrest.
Ryan Murphy. Oh my God. Ryan Tedder. Shout out to One Republic. Oh my gosh. No, we can't do this.
Let's just do Philippi, Reynolds, and Gosling. So obviously you're killing Philippi.
Easy work. I'm fucking Reynolds and Marion Gosling.
I think we're on the same exact page then. The game is over. No shade to Ryan Philippi. I love me some Ryan Philippi.
No, not at all.
But that's been because I feel like Ryan Reynolds is good in doses. Like I feel like he would make me laugh and all those things. But Ryan Gosling has had my heart for a very, very long time. And he's such a
Ava so much.
Yeah, he's so such a sweetheart. Yeah.
Yeah.
So all right. Well, I guess now we've done it. So there you go. All right, Delora, what are we recapping for the people next week?
All right, Ashley, we are recapping Rye Lane. It is a rom-com, rated R. It's about 2 British bays walking through London, and it's cute. It's available on Hulu. Check it out and check out our conversation.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us for today's episode. If you have any thoughts about anything we've discussed, please feel free to give us a shout. We appreciate it. Please share this episode with your friends, family, loved ones, everyone. We will be back with more, but in the meantime, as always, be blessed. Bye.